You're listening to the Fast F1 Podcast. Hello again, everyone, and welcome back to the Fast F1 Podcast with me, Danny Kane.
And I'm Eddie Meteye-O'Kane.
And today is the British Grand Prix race review / Austrian Grand Prix race review, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we weren't able to record after the Austrian Grand Prix because Eddie was sick and could barely breathe, and so we ended up having to skip it and record. Now it's Tuesday, 2 days. It's Tuesday, 2 days after the British Grand Prix. We're going to do kind of a brief review of the Austrian Grand Prix just because it was chaos, and then we'll move on to the.
It wasn't exciting at all.
No, not at all. Then we'll move on to the Silverstone Grand Prix. So. What do you give us a brief overview of what all happened at Austria?
So, just for short things before we get to Britain, it was the closest Q1 time ever, but this is Austria. I mean, this track is so short, so I'm really not surprised. Leclerc and Piastri touch on lap 1, quite definitely ruining Leclerc's race. But before the race, Piastri had actually had a grid penalty for cutting the track when he really didn't, which actually caused him a win that he could have actually had.
Yeah, potentially, yeah.
Alonso and I think it was Joe, or it might have been Gasly, collided at turn 3. As far as the F2 sprint race, Prema are on top, and Behrman wins the sprint race. Verstappen and Norris crash. We will get to that in a moment. I will save that one as well. So Verstappen and Norris at Austria.
Yeah. What did you think of the accident?
Oh my gosh, 15 laps to go to the end of the race. 5 of those laps were just Norris and Verstappen going off the track at turn 3 every other lap, and I was like, wait, so who has a penalty where?
Yeah.
It was quite confusing. And then the craziest thing since like the Civil War kind of battles.
Well, or when Max and Hamilton were hitting each other in 21.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, so the race at Austria, the main race, because there was a sprint race there that weekend as well, but in the main race, it was kind of a bit of a snoozer for a lot of it, and then just all of a sudden it blew up, and Verstappen had his bad pit stop, and Norris was catching. Norris was faster on lighter fuel.
I mean, that's like 90% of what Austria is. Yeah. It's a boring race, and then the last 20 laps, bam, there's the action.
Yeah, so I mean, in my opinion, Verstappen was a little too aggressive in his defense, but at the same time, I think that at times Norris was a little too aggressive in his assault on the lead. In the incident where they actually crashed, yes, Verstappen moved a second time, in my opinion, and moved back across. Norris probably could have gone a little bit further to the left, maybe possibly going off track slightly, but at the same time, he was also looking at potential penalty for the number of track limit violations. So I can kind of understand him not giving up the space either. Either way, they took each other out. And
it was crazy.
Norris didn't finish. Verstappen, what was it, 5th place that he ended up with in the
end?
The
pole position, and I think he also got the fastest lap. No, he didn't.
No,
Alonso took it away at the end, didn't he?
Alonso got the fastest lap right at the end.
Yeah, but if he did get the fastest lap, that's 11 more points. Yeah. That is so messed up.
He still got 10 points, extended his lead over Norris.
The thing is,
but George Russell,
he won it. George Russell takes his second win for Mercedes.
In third, and it's like his team was saying, it's not over till it's over. You have to be
Toto Wolff. Did you see Toto Wolff's race reaction at the end? Like, he was like, yes.
Yeah, they were pretty excited.
Done. But it was. And if Piastri did start from P3, he would have won the race.
Yep, very probably he could have won that race.
Well, actually, he and Leclerc did touch.
But had he started in P3, he wouldn't have been near Perez and Leclerc
true,
to have contact with either of them. So,
but Russell does win an amazing race. Piastri was chasing him. I think he was about a second and a half behind. And then I think 4 seconds after that was Carlos Sainz. So it was secondary driver, secondary driver, secondary driver.
Yeah, I mean, if you call it that, the number 2 drivers. I
Yeah.
don't know that I would call George Russell a number 2 driver at Mercedes.
Not
especially-
anymore.
especially
Same with
not this year.
Sainz. Same with Sainz.
Yeah, well, and we'll move on to the Silverstone
Yes.
points after
Yes,
the
we
race
will.
in a moment. But
No Red Bulls
I
on the
would not say
podium.
that any of them are the number 2 driver. Piastri maybe, but I think that all 3 of those teams treat their drivers pretty equally.
Until he actually gets a win, then they're going to be like dead even again at
well,
McLaren.
we will see how all of that plays out.
Yes, we will.
So moving on to Silverstone now, since that's the most recent race.
Dad said that Austria would be pretty tough to top. Did it top it?
Silverstone was pretty good. Silverstone was very good. We've had 2 really good races in a row.
We've had 3 really good races this year, because if you count Canada as well.
Canada was a really good race.
And Monaco was better than most Monacos, but it.
Monaco was a boring
I know. I'm
race.
I'm just trying to get under your skin. That's all.
Yeah, no, I hated Monaco. But so at Silverstone, the 2 Mercedes starting first and second, both on the front row.
Yeah.
And I think I told you at the beginning of the race that Russell would not win the race.
No, he wouldn't. He looked so strong, though. Well, we'll move on to that in a moment. As far as pre-qualifying goes, though, and as far as Austria for predictions, we didn't get anything near right.
Yeah, we're kind of skipping our predictions because of
obviously
of
we didn't get
missing
those
Austria.
right. Obviously, we didn't get those right. We didn't get Britain's right either, but we'll move on to those predictions, which we did actually put. We didn't get them right, but we'll tell you later. Free practice 1. 4 drivers are announced to do practice sessions. Isaac Hadjar, again in the Red Bull car. Ollie Behrman is back in the Haas for the 3rd time. And Jack Doohan is getting a second try. And then Franco Colapinto makes his debut for an F1 car in the Williams. A couple hours later, or even the next day, we figure out Behrman is going to make his debut in Formula One.
Except it's not his debut because he's already raced for Ferrari once.
Well, yeah, but this is a full season.
Yeah, he has got a full-time ride for next year with Haas.
And if you think about it, the last person who had their full season debut was actually Nick de Vries.
No, Logan Sargent.
No. Full season. Oh, yeah.
Logan Sargent and Nick de Vries were both rookies last year.
Did Oscar Piastri take a... I think Oscar...
And Oscar Piastri last year was a rookie
yeah,
as
but
well.
I think Logan Sargent participated in a free practice 1 session
Well, they all
once.
participated in practices before,
Yeah,
before they did any races. But
Either way.
point being, Behrman has secured a seat for next year.
Yeah, the weekend after he scores his first win, and the first win of the season for Prema, we're going to make it a second win as Antonelli scores his first win at his home sprint.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, no, it's not his home sprint.
No, it's not his home sprint. But
I don't know why I put home. He's Italian.
Yeah, and Austria wasn't Behrman's home race either.
Yeah. Wait, did I say that?
I'm not sure if he did or not. It doesn't matter, but
Either way,
Antonelli, he scored did he win the feature race or the sprint race?
I think he won the sprint race, but the sprint race was a really good race, though.
Okay, I didn't see it.
You
so I
should
don't
check
know.
it out. Brad Pitt's movie. Finally, we get some more news on that. It's been quite a bit of time since they first announced it. What's it called?
What is it called? I don't know.
It's just called F1. Very creative title.
Yeah, well, I would
Very
explain
creative.
Hollywood to you, but I can't.
Anyways, now we can go. Now we can go back to the qualifying.
Yeah, so qualifying, the qualifying itself was pretty entertaining as well because they had wet, dry conditions. Perez spinning out in Q1, knocked out again.
And there's been a lot of rumors recently about Daniel Ricciardo potentially replacing him, and Perez being dropped to
somewhere.
Either he's gonna be forced to quit, and Lawson will put him in, or he's gonna go to RB. I cannot see that.
Yeah, and I was even hearing today that there may even still be a better possibility that Liam Lawson would go straight into the Red Bull rather
No,
than
that'd be
Daniel
cool.
Ricciardo. Yeah, we'll see.
But I think that
Checo's in a bad way. I mean, his race after that wasn't any good either. I mean, partly screwed over by his strategy.
Yes.
The team put him onto intermediates way too early and then left him out for a long period of time.
Yeah,
but he was still nowhere to be
all
seen.
Perez's fault, though. I mean, he did run on.
He was very anonymous the whole race.
Well, yeah, but he did. He was on the better tires on the second half of the race, and he wasn't the only one who was too bad. We'll get to.
He didn't score any points.
He didn't score any points. He wasn't even in the top 10, or he wasn't even in the top 15.
No, it was lousy. He did a really bad race.
He's such a bad driver. He's like Alpine at the beginning of the season.
He's a good driver, but he's having a really bad midseason.
Are you sure?
Shockingly bad. I mean, he's scored 15 points in the last 6 races. That's really bad for where when you compare that to his teammate who is currently leading the championship by 80-some points.
And he's dropped down to 6th.
And he's dropped down to 6th.
He's dropped down to 6th.
Almost in the clutches of Hamilton and Russell in 7th and 8th.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's
unbelievable.
really bad for Perez right now.
It's like Alonso last season compared to Stroll.
Yeah.
But anyways.
So that's all after qualifying.
Yeah. But there is more. I think Gasly had parts that he put onto his car.
I don't remember why he had a penalty.
I think he changed his engine or something like that.
He had a reason why he was going to be starting from the back no matter what, so they changed engine components on his car, I believe. Or maybe that was Perez that I'm thinking of. I'm not sure. Either way, Gasly was always going to be starting at the back.
And then he didn't.
And then he didn't.
And then he didn't.
And Ocon had a really bad weekend as well.
Yeah,
absolutely terrible.
Back to
qualifying, and then a terrible race, and yeah, just they were. Alpine was nowhere.
This is the actual pace of Alpine that I think we were supposed to have the first half of the season, and then something.
This
happened.
is where they were at the first half of the season. And lately they've been stronger, but yeah, Silverstone was horrible.
Yeah, definitely. Silverstone was quite crazy, but
on the other hand, Nico Hülkenberg in the Haas made it into Q3.
Yes.
Qualified 6th and finished 6th.
Yeah. And Logan Sargent made it into Q2 for the 3rd time.
Yeah.
How crazy is that?
And finished the race in 11th, and he's managed to leapfrog Bottas in the championship and is now sitting in 20th.
The 10-time winner, technically 12-time if you include sprints. That is crazy.
Bottas won 2 sprints?
He did.
Oh, I didn't know that.
He's got the second most sprints. Hamilton hasn't even won 1. I find that ridiculous.
Are you sure about that?
I'm positive. It's one of the weird. There's only 5 different sprint winners.
I thought that Hamilton won the first sprint.
No, that was Verstappen. At Silverstone?
2021? I don't remember.
It was Verstappen. And then Verstappen got plummeted into the wall, but...
Well, anyway.
Yeah, Perez has a bad qualifying, and then moving into the race, it's an all British 1, 2, 3 to start the grid.
Yeah, the top 3 starting positions were all Brits. You had
First time ever.
Russell and Hamilton on the front row, both in the Mercedes, and then Norris in 3rd in the McLaren.
And it was almost a top 4 Anglosphere lockout if Verstappen hadn't Piastri.
If Piastri had gotten up there,
Yeah. If anyone does not know, as I keep saying to my dad, he doesn't understand it. But apparently an Anglosphere is someone who speaks English?
I don't know.
Exactly.
Everybody on the grid speaks English. Everybody on the grid speaks English. That's the accepted international language for Formula One. But either way, so in the race, the first sort of 20-ish laps, 15 laps were a bit processional, a little bit of follow the leader, and then
it was dull.
We got a little bit of rain, which then dried out.
And then
you got a little bit more rain, which then started drying out.
Strategy. And Leclerc
had the same problem that Perez had in the race, where it was terrible strategy on Ferrari's part.
Leclerc has had 4 bad races in a row since Monaco, where he's won. Okay, so Monaco, and then Canada. Ferrari wasn't on good pace anyways. Carlos Sainz also had not even scored in the points. Sainz didn't even finish that one, but they both didn't make it into Q3. Then we get to Spain. Leclerc, I think he had contact, and he was forced to the back of the grid and had an early pit stop with Logan Sargent. Austria, he was nowhere. We couldn't... I don't know where he was. Here, he made it, I think, finished in P14. He's having a terrible season.
Yeah.
And Sainz has turned into the new Michael Schumacher. He's
Leclerc didn't qualify well at Silverstone. I think it was 11th he started.
Yeah.
And then I don't remember if he had contact or something, but he wasn't making. Well, actually, no, he was moving forward. I think he'd gotten up to 7th, and he was threatening Hulkenberg for 6th.
why did Leclerc
But it was right
go
after
down
he
so
got.
far?
It was right after he passed Stroll for 7th place that they brought him in to put on intermediates, but it was way too early.
Oh,
then
that's right.
Then they left him out forever on the intermediates, and it
And
just
it
completely
was terrible.
destroyed his race.
Not just him, and by the way, Sainz, it's looking like he's turning into the new Schumacher. As soon as Hamilton announced he would be taking over, he was like, let's do this. But Oscar Piastri was also screwed over again.
Yeah, so McLaren made a number of errors in this race. First of all, not double stacking the first go
oh my
around.
gosh.
That screwed up Piastri's race, and then they waited a lap too long with Norris and screwed up Norris's race.
We saw this at
and
Canada,
they put Norris
too.
on the soft tires, which was not the correct tire to be on, because when they put Piastri on the mediums for the last part of the race, Piastri was flying. He was way quicker than
And
Norris
look at
was.
Verstappen on the hards.
And I know, which nobody would have really expected that.
Oh,
so.
heck no.
I think if they had pit him a lap earlier and put him on mediums, there's no question. No, I don't think anybody would doubt that Norris would have won that race.
Well, yeah.
But that's not what
Well,
happened. And
that's not what happened. Wait. Don't say it yet. I don't want you to say it yet. But, because we still got a couple more things.
Okay.
You think Ricciardo's going to replace Perez?
I don't think that anyone will replace Perez. I think that Red Bull is going to stick with him.
Are you sure?
Unless we've got 2 more races before the summer break, and if he can get 2 good results between now and the summer break, I think they'll keep him in the car for the end of the year.
Are you sure? Because in the past decade, Red Bull have had a mid-season swap twice. Actually, technically 3 times if you include AlphaTauri.
Yeah, I mean, they're not
4
shy
times.
of swapping drivers out, and or just getting rid of good drivers.
Yeah.
Kvyat, Jean-Eric Verne.
Verne raced for Red Bull?
Well, he raced for Toro Rosso.
Okay.
And
I was going to say.
yeah, and Daniel Ricciardo left because the team couldn't make him happy, basically.
Well, no, I think he was offered a better
They binned
deal.
off Pierre Gasly, Alex Albon.
Gasly was a good driver. He won a race in the AlphaTauri.
So was Alex Albon.
Albon is too. I don't know why they signed Perez. He won the one. That was the only race that he actually committed and actually drove well. The only race.
Well, I wouldn't say that. Perez has had a lot of really good standout performances over the years, but they're too few and far between, in my opinion. And the young drivers in Gasly and Albon, unfortunately, came up against the buzzsaw that is Max Verstappen, and they couldn't live with him and the pressure of being his teammate, and too inexperienced and not given enough time to prove themselves. And whereas Perez, when he first came into the Red Bull stable, he was getting good results. He was helping Max in the championship. He was helping the team in the team championship.
2021 Abu Dhabi.
Exactly. He really helped Max.
Yes, that
there.
was one as well, I will say.
So they had good reason to have him and to keep him, but he's not performing right now.
He really isn't. And he even started from the pits. He had a bad qualifying, eliminating Q1 for like the 4th time this season.
Yeah.
And then he started from the pits.
And then meanwhile, his teammate is chasing down the leader in the last laps of the race.
And the leader was not George Russell. He retired. The leader...
The winner
was 8, now 9-time winner of the most Grand Prix won in a single event at his home race, Sir Lewis Hamilton, MBE Hanfreng.
What?
There are all his titles. I found that out.
I didn't.
He's got a lot of titles, apparently.
Well, I knew he was Sir Lewis Hamilton. I didn't know he had
Okay,
all
fine.
kinds of
Sir
other
Lewis
titles,
Hamilton, whatever. But still, 104 victories. That's how you end your Mercedes career.
Yeah, I mean, easily the sentimental favorite, going into that race. I shouldn't say easily, but
Not easily. No,
I
Lando
think
Norris.
that I don't think that anybody was unhappy about Hamilton winning that race. Maybe Norris wasn't happy about it, but
Well, I mean,
and
he
certainly
knew he
Russell
could have
wasn't
won
happy
it.
about not finishing. But
Oh, no, he was...
I think it's one of those things where, given the circumstances, with it being
Hamilton cried.
in England and been so long since he had won there, he sets the record and everything. I think that any of the racers that were there would have said, if I can't win, I think that they would have liked Hamilton to win.
Yeah, but Hamilton was so sad after, because apparently he was saying to quite a few people he actually feared not winning again.
Yeah, he's had times, he said in the past, where he questioned whether or not he was good enough to win again, or he questioned whether or not he would ever win another race.
He cried, and Bono and Toto were on the radio just cheering him up, and he was so happy.
Yeah.
He brought his family to take a picture. It was
And as much as
monumental.
I like McLaren, and I do, and
Yeah,
I like
he really
Norris
does.
a lot.
He really does.
I had a hard
Aha!
time. I like McLaren, and so I was always going to root for them. But, I'm not a Lewis Hamilton fan. I always have
Yeah,
kind
you
of liked
are.
him. Well, I've always liked him, but
You like
he's not like
You
he's
like
not-
all the Brits.
I like teams. I'm not really one for rooting for a particular driver. I root for McLaren. I root for Williams. I want to see them doing well.
Oh yeah, I want them to be back on top. Ever
Right.
since they got rid of Bottas, they've
Well,
been
I mean-
pretty bad. I mean, ever since they hadn't been winning championships, that's when they've been bad.
Yeah, I mean, but nevertheless, I have always, liked Hamilton more than most drivers.
Yes.
So it was really cool to see him win the race, and because I wondered if he'd ever win another race, at
I
least
did
with
too.
Mercedes. Anyways, I wanted to see him at least get one more win with Mercedes, and hopefully he'll get a couple more.
I think
before
he's
the
gonna
end of the
get.
season.
I think my guess is he's gonna finish off his career with like 111 wins. The rest, I think he's gonna get another 7
Well, it
with
depends
Ferrari.
on how Ferrari are next year, and
they're gonna
especially
be
in 2026.
They're gonna be amazing these next 2 years because they've got
I don't know, they
Adrian
started this-
Newey and Lewis Hamilton.
They do not have Adrian Newey.
Well, they will.
We don't know that.
I think we will. But
Well, we'll see. We'll see how the 2026 car goes for them because, they started the year strong this year, but they've slipped back a little bit too.
they have. Anyways,
So-
up to our predictions. Austria, it doesn't matter. Our predictions for this race, we did have predictions. You said Verstappen, which was a no. He finished second. Hamilton, he won the race. And then Norris, who did actually get third.
Yeah, I
Close.
did not think that, Russell is a good driver, but I don't think he's as good in the wet. And with the forecast
he's
being
really not.
with the forecast being for rain, I just felt like he was going to slip behind into about 4th or 5th position, which he was actually falling back when he had to retire the
I
car.
think he
but-
retired at 4th place.
Yeah, but he was falling into the clutches of even Verstappen at that point, and
Even Verstappen? You mean
well,
Verstappen?
because Verstappen wasn't going very for the
He
first
was
half of
not.
the race. So,
But, anyways.
but I did kind of feel like Max Verstappen was inevitable and was just he was going to find a way
You
to get.
always say he's inevitable.
Because he always seems to be. We've had 6 winners this year.
We have in 12 races.
Yep, 6 winners, but 7 of those races have been won by one driver. So the
Yes.
other 5 drivers have each won one race. So,
But still, at this rate, we are going to see Oscar Piastri and Sergio Perez. Hopefully, Sergio Perez win a race.
Well, I think that if for you, I would think you would be saying that hopefully Carlos Sainz wins all.
Hopefully,
the races.
Carlos Sainz wins all the rest of the races. Actually,
And
at
takes
this
the championship with it.
yeah, but no, at this point, I'm rooting for Lando Norris. I was saying this all weekend and all week. I was saying to everyone who asked me, yeah, well, Max Verstappen's going to win the race. I was like, no, he's not, and I didn't give a second thought about it because I didn't want to jinx it or anything, and I was right.
Yeah. Well, I had said Verstappen, Hamilton, Norris. It ended up being Hamilton, Verstappen, Norris.
Close. I said Norris, Russell, Hamilton. I did think it was going to be an all-British podium. I thought Norris would jump.
That would have been really cool.
That would have been that was actually a really good
It actually
prediction.
looked like it was going to happen for a while.
It
there.
was I felt really confident about that prediction. Like I put it on the Formula One race predictor
Yeah,
thing.
when
everything.
Verstappen fell back to 5th place and you had the 2 Mercedes followed by the 2 McLarens.
I mean, Verstappen had a shock race. I mean, he started from pretty far back. Perez has
Well, he
no
started- he didn't
excuse
start
for falling
from pretty
that
far
far.
back. He started from
He
4th.
started from 4th. Perez has no excuse for where he
Well,
started.
We've beaten Perez down enough this podcast, I think.
I don't think so. Not yet. We still got another 12 races this season.
So-
Dan. And another 2 years.
What is your prediction then for Hungary? In a week and a
Hungary.
half?
Oh, I already know who wins this. You know how I said Lewis Hamilton will win the rest of his 7 with Ferrari? You know how good he is in Hungary, right?
He goes very well in Hungary, yeah.
So I think it's going to be Lando Norris.
I could see that.
I'm going to say Max Verstappen. He's also good at this track, Max Verstappen. So I'm going to say Max Verstappen in first this time. I am going to put Lewis Hamilton in second, though. And I'm going to put, I don't know. Yeah, I'm going to put Carlos Sainz in third.
I think that with the exception of Verstappen, it's really a toss-up for 5 different drivers.
It's a toss-up for
the rest
8.
of the podium.
It's a top-up for both McLarens, both Mercedes, both Ferraris, and both Red Bulls. That's 8.
I wouldn't say both
Actually,
Red
no,
Bulls,
not Red Bulls. Not Red. Let's beat him up more now.
Well, that's my point, though. Besides Verstappen, it's one of those things where you kind of know that Verstappen is going to be on the podium even if he doesn't win the race.
But
so you know
Perez,
he's going to be up there, but the rest of the podium is between any one of those other 6 drivers.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And maybe Perez, if he can get back on form, he'll be up there as well. But I have
so.
my doubts that he'll be able to.
I do too.
I think the pressure has gotten to be too great for him. I really do think he's going to struggle. But I don't think that Red Bull will bin him off just yet.
Really?
If he has another 2 really bad races at Hungary and at Spa, then I could see it happening.
Actually, they could. The summer break is just a bit away.
Yeah.
They could.
If he has a reasonable race at either of them, or especially at both of them.
If he wins one, he's staying, guaranteed.
I think if he has a couple of reasonably good races, then he'll stick around to the end of the season.
Yeah. But...
So what are you thinking then? What did you say your prediction was?
Verstappen, Hamilton, and Sainz. What about you?
Okay, I'm going to say that it will actually be Russell winning
again. Triple Mercedes win.
Because the Mercedes went well at Monaco.
They did, but I think that Russell will have
a bounce back race.
But they didn't get on the podium, though.
I know, but
they had a good race at Canada.
They had a good race at Monaco, and that was when they were starting to figure out. They had finally kind of figured out what was wrong with their car. They've had a little bit of development time. They've had a little bit of development time to improve it. Hungary is a very similar style track in terms of its, speed and corners and whatnot. Monaco without the walls, as they call it.
Yes.
So I think Russell will go well. I think that he'll have a bounce back race, and then I think you'll have Verstappen, and then I'm going to say Piastri for third.
Piastri. So
I will give you a bonus prediction as well.
Wait,
I'm going to say double Haas points.
Double Haas points. Okay, I am going to do my major prediction of the race for this race.
Yeah.
These are worth 1 point as well as the predictions. So, my big one, I think that a Haas driver, after scoring 6th here, I think both Haas drivers are going to score more than 10 points in total.
So that would mean that
fifth,
one of them would have to get at least 4th.
At least 4th. No.
And the other
fourth
would have
is
to get
12.
5th.
Fourth
Yeah.
is 12.
Right. You said both drivers would get at least 10 points.
In total.
Oh, so Haas will get 10 points is what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
I think they're going to jump RB with points to spare.
So either one driver will get 5th or better, or the 2 of them will combine for 10 points.
Yes, this is my major prediction of the season.
That's kind of what I said, though. A double point finish.
Yes, but I think they're going to get more than 10. That's like finishing 11th and 5th. That's a lot to gain. Magnussen got 8 points. Hülkenberg didn't get any points this time, but he did really...
Hülkenberg finished in 6th.
Hülkenberg finished in 6th. Magnussen didn't do as good as him. He didn't finish in the points, but...
Right.
But that was only 8 points. Yeah. I think they can do it, and we were shocked from that finish.
That's what happened at Austria, though. They got 12 points at Austria, I believe, or was it 14?
No. Oh, they didn't get that high.
Sure they did.
No.
Magnussen finished 6th and Hülkenberg finished 8th.
Nah,
yeah,
I don't
Perez
think so.
was between them.
Really?
I'm almost sure that was the result, because they bagged a whole crap load of points in the last two races.
Then I'm probably not.
They're right behind Alpine right now. Alpine's got 27.
No,
points.
they have actually passed them by quite a bit. They're right behind RB.
Oh yes, RB. That's who I'm thinking of. Not Alpine.
For
yeah. So they're
sixth,
they're right behind RB for sixth.
I guess this is not qualified for a major prediction then, so I'm gonna save it.
Well,
Sorry.
it's fine. It's basically the same as what I said.
I know, but I don't think it'd count as a major
All right,
prediction,
I'll
so
tell
I'm
you
gonna
what,
save
you
it.
keep that one, and I'll change mine.
No, I don't want to keep it now. Because it's not a major prediction.
All right.
We'll see at Belgium if I have anything else. So, that's it.
Okay, well, this has been a really long podcast, partly because we
just hit 30 minutes.
We had to cover the Austrian Grand Prix a little bit. So
yeah, sorry.
We're going to sign off here. This has been the F1. This has been the Fast F1 podcast. I know what I'm doing. Thanks for listening. Make sure you give us a like on whatever podcast platform you're listening to us on, if it's Apple Podcasts or Google Podcasts or whatever it is. And thanks for listening. I'm Danny Kane.
And I'm Eddie Meteye-O'Kane.
And we will see you later.
Bye.
Fast F1 is produced by Danny Kane and Eddie Meteye-O'Kane. All rights are reserved. Music is performed by Alex Zavesa. Thanks for listening.